Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this series, this is the third video that I'm doing. We are working on AZ700, which is primarily focused on Microsoft Azure networking. So in this GitHub lab, what we have done in the last two videos, in the first video we created the architecture and required virtual network and all the subnets that we need inside using the portal. Okay, if you follow, and I'll give you this link. This is really the way the network is configured. You have three different virtual network. One is the core services virtual network, manufacturing VNet, and the research VNet. Each one got their own subnets. So here I have four different subnets. The manufacturing one, I have four different one, and the research one got one. They're all deployed in three different regions, right? East US, West Europe, and Southeast Asia. Now in the first video, we followed these instructions as per here, and we used the portal to deploy everything. The next video, what I did actually, I used the ARM template to create the creation of all of this, so you can take the ARM template and deploy as many times as you like. Update very quick. You don't even touch the portal. Now in this one, we want to see how we can use Terraform to build this, and we'll just give it a shot. So what I have done showing here, we're going to use one of the resource called azurerm virtual network. So it's always good to open that up and look at some example usage. So never start from the scratch. Start from some example usage, so you know how to write the code. So let's just go back to our Visual Studio Code, and I have created a file main.tf in here. Okay, and this is just a standard piece of code. You start with the Terraform block and required providers. Azure is what we're going to use, and provider feature, this is also required. And after that, what I'll do, I'll go in here from this page. I'm going to copy the whole thing, example usage, and put it back in here. Okay, so the first thing you can do, let's try to do a clear here, and Terraform init. I like to test things out from the very beginning. So I'm just doing a Terraform init. It says the initialization, it worked fine. I also like to do very quickly Terraform Validate just to see whatever boilerplate code, is it good or bad. It says it's successful. So at least I know my boilerplate load that I got is working fine. So as I said, Terraform block is just sample. Provider, you will just go and copy and put it there. So then what the boilerplate code that we got, it is starting with a resource provider. Okay, so every single one of them, they're the resources, right? So the first resource is a azurerm resource group, and the name, the reference to the template is example. So I want to change the example to something else. So that's gonna be my first job. So let's just do Control F. Then here, let's change example to RG. Okay, and then what I'll do, replace all, and what happened, all of the RG where it was like example change to RG. I also want to change this one to East US, because somewhere in here you will see they're saying the to create the resource group in the East US. I'm going to change that to East US. So that got created. So the next resource that you have, this is a Azure RM network security group. Okay, um, we don't need this for this particular lab, so I'm going to keep it for now and see if we need to reuse that one. uh, let's come down to DDoS protection plan. This is also not part of this lab, so I'm going to keep them outside for now. Actually, I can even comment out because I don't need it. uh, then come back down to the resource. This is where we should probably start focusing on. So azurerm virtual network, and here that network, okay, we probably made a mistake by changing that example. Okay, it's okay. So we'll change this one to say VNet 1. Here, location, I have to hard code this one. The location is going to be East US. East US. Okay, a resource group is fine. Address space is this, and DNS server we are not going to configure. DDoS protection plan we are not doing it, and after that we need the subnets. Okay, the subnet we need the name, so let's just configure the subnets real quick. Here is my first subnet, and that is the subnet ID. Here is my subnet number 2, and that is my subnet range. uh, then my third subnet is this, and here is my address for that subnet, and then it stops, but I need another one, so I'll just copy this one, put the code back in here, and I need the public web service subnet, right? So let's just do this, and here is my IP range for that one. And I think I have a mistake in here. Let's fix, there's no 244. All right, so we have got this one configured so far. So let's see if we have any impact on the DDoS plan anywhere else. I feel like we are okay. So over here, what we'll do, I'm gonna do Terraform Validate one more time and see if we have any kind of problem with the code. It says, hey, your code is still valid, so that gives me a lot of confidence. So what we'll do, I'll get rid of stuff that is really not required as per the lab requirement in here. I'm gonna get rid of these two. We don't need the network security group, just to keep the code a little bit more clean. Let's see. So once we have that, so this is really the structure. Okay, name, location of the virtual network, and let's change that name as well. Make it CoreServicesVnet, that is deployed in East US. Okay, rest looks very good. I don't even need the tags, so I'm going to get rid of that tag as well. In a real world you should be using all that, but here I'm just trying to stick to the lab. Okay, so once I have that, I can copy this block, and I'm just going to paste it here and change that to VNet 2. Once I do that, I'm going to come over here to the manufacturing, copy that one. In this case, I'm going to change this name to a manufacturing VNet, and do the same thing for the address space and the subnet. So here the address space is going to be this. Okay, and I'm going to change the name of the subnets. So here, so see how easy it is. Well, I'm just going to go one after one. So let's change the IP as well, and this is going to be the subnet 1. Since it's subnet 1, that's my IP. Okay, since it's subnet 2, here is my IP, and I have to do one more, and that is the sensor subnet 3. I see one thing that we need to get rid of that we are not using. I'll show you in a second, and that is my IP. All right, security group we are not using, are we? We are not using NSG, so you can get rid of that. You can get rid of that. And do I have security group? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this and get rid of this. Okay, so that looks good. So I have the second subnet defined. I'm going to copy this code. I have to do one more. Okay, so over here the third, I'm going to change this to 3, and this time I have only one subnet in that VNet. So make that research VNet, and this is in Southeast Asia, and address range is this. but in here I just have one subnet. So here I just need one of the subnet blocks and the associated IP. Okay. Oh, what do I do? Subnet, I put something wrong there. So copy again, fix it, and call it a subnet. Okay, now I'm gonna get rid of these other subnet blocks. Look at that. So that's all I think we need to be uh, able to successfully deploy this code. Okay, so East US, Southeast Asia, Asia, but the VNet 2 we wanted to be in West Europe, so we need to change that to West Europe. So I'm just doing a quick validation, okay? And that's about it. So we should be good to go. Name, call it RG resources, and then AC700. That's the resource I'm going to create. Now see what is going to happen. Okay, so now I'm going to run the Terraform Validate command once more, make sure everything is still good, it's successful. I'm going to log into my AZ. So I'm just going to do AZ login, and it usually brings up a web page where you're just going to say, yeah, everything is good. Now you are connected, and uh, it should be all good. You're logged in. Okay, so now what we can do Terraform, then do a plan. Let's see if the plan is giving us any trouble. uh, and then once the plan did give me a problem. It says authentication object JSON result to dash UCLI, waiting for dash UCLI exit status is the authentication error. So I need to fix the authentication error. Now give me 1 second. So let me fix the authentication. Okay, so this time my login is successful. I'm logged in successfully. So let's go back. Okay, so now again, what we'll do, we're gonna run just run Terraform, then plan, and you don't need to do the .exe. You just can just run Terraform.plan. That works. So now it's going back and trying to do the plan again. Okay, this is the code that we have got so far, and let's see what happens. So now it's trying to authenticate to my account, and let's see. Yeah, so it looks good, and all the plus thing that you're seeing in here. Okay, so it's telling me if I'm gonna run this code, okay, it's gonna create all that. It's gonna create the plus sign and then all of that stuff it's telling me. So this time what I'll do, instead of plan, I'm gonna say apply and hit enter. And it's gonna really does the plan thing again, and then it asks, do you want to deploy it now? And I'm gonna say yes. So let's see what happens. So still going on. There we go. So now it says, hey, all the changes you're going to apply now. Do you want to do that? Let's say yes. And while we said yes, let's see if we can go back to our Azure. um, See, where is my Azure? Maybe in here. So first of all, let's just go to home and go to resource group. So it should create a new resource group. I don't see that resource group. Okay. So the resource group it should create, if I go back to the code, where is my code? Okay, so the resource group, we said the name of the resource group should be RG Resources AZ700, right? So RG Resources AZ700 is should, so that got created. You see, now inside this one, what we'll see, it already created, looks like two of them. So let's watch our what is going on with this as well. The very bottom. Oh, there is some problem. So let's see. So it did something, but then it failed at some place, and it said, okay, creating name, manufacturing resource group, network prefixes, address prefix is not formatted correctly. It should follow CID and notation. So there is some prefix problem that we have with one of the VNets. So and let's see which VNet it is. It is 10.30.22.0. So 10.30.22.0. So let's just go back and take a quick look at that. Okay, 10.30.22.0. 10.30. Ah, so you see there's a space. We cannot have the space in there. So you do this. The interesting feature about our our Terraform is make sure I'm not in the right directory. What happened to the terminal that we were here? We are here. So what I'll do, we here. I want to make sure that I'm in the right space. I don't think I am. Let me do it real quick and go to the right place. We just lost the location of it. Let me do a clear. Okay. And ISC do a ls. I'm gonna go back another one. Make sure. Yeah, I think we are in good spot. Okay, let me pause and go to the right spot. Then we'll run again. All right, so I need to go to the IAC ARM AZ700 Lab 1 Terraform Lab 1. So IAC ARM, then AZ700 AZ700, then do a ls here, do cd to lab 1 to ls here. So that's the VNet one. I don't want the VNet. Hold on. We want this one. This one is stored under lab 1, then Terraform lab. So here cd Terraform lab. Now we are in the right spot. Okay, so sorry about the delay here. So let's rerun our Terraform plan, not plan, just do the apply one more time. And now it's saying you have a missing new line argument on line 66. That's very good. So right there, somehow I put it there. So get rid of it, save it, rerun the code, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now this Terraform data apply that I'm running, it should go and try to do where it failed before. Okay, so while this is going on one more time, let's go back to here. What happens, this is the beauty of Terraform, that it's not going to recreate and destroy any of these resources that already got created, which is the property is something that we call it idempotent. And if you have any experience with say Ansible, it's the same thing. So if you keep refreshing, if the other resource is good, then it will create here. Oh, here you have to provide yes before it does anything. So now it is gonna go, and if you look at it over here, this one is also gonna say, okay, these means this got already created, so the squiggly yellow thing will not be created. So the only thing is gonna be created is this section of it. Okay, so now it's now creating. So and now everything looks like happened just beautifully. So let's come back over here, refresh this, refresh a few times. Now all three showed up. Okay, so the last thing we want to do here is validate. So if you go through this task, okay, what we have done here using code, you would be doing it through the portal. You will go there, go to the virtual network, then manually edit all of that, manually edit all of that, manually edit all of that, and then at the end you have this. So if we want to validate real quick, So let's see, CoreServicesVnet. This is the CoreServicesVnet. Okay, in here I should have 4 different subnets. So let's go in there and go to the subnets and look at that. I have a DatabaseSubnet, a PublicWebServiceSubnet, GatewaySubnet, and the SharedServicesSubnet, right? And just check one of them, 10.20.0027, 10.20.0027. Okay, so all of that is now configured properly, okay, in our network. So let's go back to the other one. Say manufacturing, go to the subnets. Again, I'm expecting 4 different one. That's what I have. And if you look at the manufacturing, 1030 10.0, 1030 10.0, then I have 3 sensors. Let's just do this. Yeah, now it put the manufacturing at the top. So that all looks good. Next, review the last one. I'm expecting only 1 subnet in here, and that is also good. So everything got deployed just like that, right? Again, this is East US, West US, Southeast US. So everything looked good. Another beauty of Terraform, now if I want, now I have the code, okay, I don't want to spend money on it. If I need to get rid of all the resources, then I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to run Terraform and then destroy. That's about it. It's going to destroy all the resources that create. It's going to ask you, hey, do you really want to do that? And I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead, buddy, because I don't want to pay for it, because it's just a lab. I'm just trying to teach my fellow followers here. And again, if you want to see all the red mark over here, it's just telling you that, hey, if you run this code, everything of the red signed things, the resources, items will be destroyed. I'm going to say yes. And if you come back to your portal, every resource, including this resource group, is going to be deleted. Okay. Now I have some other stuff in here. Don't worry about this, but this is the one that we used using the Terraform. Okay. And in a minute or so, okay, so it's now deleting everything or destroying as soon as this process is done. If I go back to the portal, you will see that everything got deleted. So again, a very simple Terraform code. So hopefully this series, the 3 videos that I have done, one using the portal, another with the ARM template, and this one with the Terraform, will give you some idea and benefit and positive of using one way of deploying versus the other. And I'll let you choose which one you like the best and go with that approach. So now everything is done. So if I go back here, try to refresh, that resource group is completely gone. And that's why these days, I personally am liking Terraform a lot. Okay, but there is some special features with ARM that I also like. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share with the videos with others. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.